Morning everybody, how are you today? It's a beautiful day, in case you haven't noticed, in case you haven't looked out the window. Have a look at this. The sun is shining and it's a nice warm breeze. What more could you ask for? I'm going to do some drone footage today. If I can get first thing in the morning, you never know, I might see some dolphins. Okay, so Millionaire Mindset, episode 2. What do you do when your back's against the wall? Wow. and was my back against the wall? Okay, let's start from the beginning. Let's start from Century 21 when I first started it. We were on the up, we were on the rise. Everything was going fantastically. Everybody wanted to be in property and everybody wanted to be an estate agent or get involved in a estate agency. We were doing recruitment drives. People were coming along to these recruitment drives. They were finding all about being a self-employed estate agent. Morning, Francis. And getting involved in being a self-employed estate agent. And what it meant. Myself and my business partner were doing all these open nights and showing everybody. And yeah, it made absolute sense on paper. The numbers make absolute sense as well. You know, it works. It works. It's a model that works. And you just have to make it work. I think that's what it really comes down to. It's amazing how many people get involved in systems or business models, and they turn around and say it doesn't work. And yet there's so many other people that are successful in that business model, and it does work. So is it doesn't work, or is it just it doesn't work for them? That's a hard thing to take. I've seen so many people blame other things for their failings. Bit of a harsh word, but it's maybe true. And myself included. You know, I've done it in the past. Morning, Joanna. I've got no qualms about saying that I've possibly done that in the past. Blamed everything else. Blamed the system. Blamed the government. We've all done it at some point in time. Some people are still doing it now. But I think the lesson for today is, it's all very well. I always heard somebody saying to me, and I remember this phrase quite well, it's easy to sing when you're winning. It's a very well-known football phrase. It's easy to sing when you're winning. But what do you do when you're not? Well, my advice is probably just keep singing. That's the ultimate. The credit crunch for us was on the horizon at this point in time. We never knew what was about to happen. We never knew what was coming. But we were on the up, and we were singing when we were winning. But I think it's a case of just keeping singing, but also realise the position that you're in and where you are at that point in time, and work on a way in order to get yourself through that situation. A lot of good people have actually, gone through it. I've been through 3 or 4 recessions before in industry, and boy were they tough and were they challenging. But it's the same mindset, it's the same process, and that's all it is. The key is to keep a cool head when everybody else around is panicking. And you know yourself. I'm not very sure who did the poem. Maybe somebody else can tell me here. But it's it, I think it is. And it's the ability to keep a cool head when everybody else around you is panicking. And I think this is what's just happened now. First day we came off on lockdown, it was like, oh my God, somebody's just turned off that tap. What are we going to do now? And it was a stark realisation to realise that we've been through this before. Different set of circumstances, but it's similar in terms of the processes and model. Unprecedented, but you can still apply the same mentalities. And in 2007, that's what we started to do. I put in a lot of groundwork before. I remember, I'm watching my time. I remember before, I put in loads and loads of groundwork. This is where a lesson is learned as well for me. I put in a lot of groundwork by a lot of people way before this. I had spoken to a lot of corporate organisations about contracts for houses when they came for sale. And I had nurtured them and developed them over the years. And a big organisation that deals with all these corporate housing and house sales. And I had nurtured him for years, and I'd tried to get my foot in the door with him. And morning Karen, I'd constantly work my way forward with him. I'd constantly beat on their door and saying, give me a chance, give me a chance, give me a chance, give me a chance. And I'd been maybe about 5 or 6 people I'd been in touch with, including all the directors in this organisation, and a lot of them had just completely ignored me. But it was this one key point where I went to a landlord association meeting with the Scottish Association of Landlords in Edinburgh, and I met a guy on a desk from this organisation, and I said, by the way, I was looking at this and looking at that, and he actually put me in touch with the right people. And this is what led us to the major contract, which actually helped us through the tough times. But I'll tell you, there's another phrase that I often remember, and I use it quite a lot. It's tough times never last, but tough people do. And the key is, what are you going to do when you get knocked down? Are you just going to stay down? Or are you going to get back up? Now I'll tell you, this is going to surprise you. Sometimes it's better to stay down for a while. And I'll tell you the reason why in tomorrow, or possibly the next day. I'll see you tomorrow at 7:30.